Hey everybody, thanks for watching. It's Urban Libertarian here, and this is the video of the day that I really wanted to make. I saw this last night just kind of searching. I search for my news, just searching about what's been going on with this whole FBI DOJ investigation, and saw this article, and I didn't realize that it was that big of an article. I know Styx talked about this today. Styx X and Hammer 666 talked about it, and it's really eye-opening because this is written by Mark Penn, and if you don't know who Mark Penn is, it's titled, first of all, it's titled "Stopping Mueller to Save Us All," and it's by Mark Penn. And if you look at Mark Penn, so this dude, he's a Democrat. First of all, he's worked under Bill Clinton. He went to Harvard. He's a lecturer from Harvard. He's worked with Hillary. He worked on her senatorial campaign, her presidential campaign. This guy's like worked with Hillary, right? And Clinton. And anyway, he's a Democrat, right? So he wrote this, and I think apparently people are just freaking out because it makes so much sense. Bear with me. I'm going to basically read this to you. You know, I like to make my videos designed for people. Maybe you can listen to it in your car or something. But anyway, it'll be kind of fun. I got a little video for those people who like videos. And I'm going to read it and just read it and give you some of my comments. So here we go. So the deep state, as in deep state of depression, with little time left before the Justice Department Inspector General's report becomes public, and with Special Counsel Robert Mueller having failed to bring down Donald Trump after a year of trying, they know a reckoning is coming, right? Now remember, this isn't some like Trump loyalist, okay? This guy's a Democrat. At this point, there's little doubt that the highest echelons of the FBI and the Justice Department broke their own rules to end the Hillary Clinton matter, in quotations. But we can expect the Inspector General to document what was done or more pointedly not done. It is hard to see how a year-long investigation of this won't come down hard on former FBI Director James Comey, and perhaps even former Attorney General Loretta Lynch, who definitely wasn't playing mahjong on a secret no-aids-allowed meeting with former President Clinton on a Phoenix airport tarmac. Now, in case you've been under a rock, and if you don't know what he's talking about there, look, while Hillary was under investigation, or there was a matter, the FBI was looking into it, who's directed by the DOJ, right? She met Loretta Lynch, the director of the DOJ, met with, in secret, essentially, unplanned. Nobody was supposed to know about it. She met Bill Clinton inside his airplane on the Phoenix tarmac, and luckily one reporter saw it, and that's why we know about it. Otherwise, we would never have known about it. Okay? With this report on the way and congressional investigators beginning to zero in on the lack of hard, verified evidence for starting the Trump probe, current and former intelligence and Justice Department officials are dumping everything they can to think of to save their reputations, okay? Cut to, here's CNN's take on it, right? So it's Monday today. Here's good old James Clapper, and look at this guy. Watch. Oh, man, are you seriously going to make me watch? Oh, my God. All right, well, I'll get back to that. So, what you're about to see is basically Clapper is going to, it's funny because, you know, they're going to rip on Trump. You know, here we go.
Investigate. You okay with that?
No, I'm not. I think that's actually very disturbing assault on the independence of the Department of Justice. And I think when this president or any president tries to use the Department of Justice as kind of a private investigatory body, that's not good for the country.
Okay, so first of all, Trump is in charge of the Department of Justice. Second of all, James Clapper, former National Intelligence Director, who should know this, who's obviously just obfuscating and not telling the truth on CNN, and who's paid by CNN. Look, if he just said it's not, that it's, you know, that's really bad, essentially, if a president used, you know, the intelligence agencies to spy on another political opponent, then that would be a problem. Then obviously he doesn't have a problem investigating the FBI and the DOJ. What do you do when if Obama were used, what do you do when it looks like obviously that the Obama administration did what James Clapper just said, that they used the intelligence agencies to spy on a political opponent? Well, then why are you pissed off because he's investigating it? That's just, it doesn't make any sense. Like, you have to have no fucking brain cells for this to make sense to you. Okay, this is Obi-Wan Kenobi saying there are no droids. There are no fucking droids in this area. Like, it's a mind fuck. Like, are you serious? You're gonna believe a ex-intelligence guy? I mean, beyond that, what he says just doesn't make sense, and it's hypocritical. Okay, so remember, this is articles by Mark Penn. This guy's a Democrat. Okay. With the report on its way, congressional investigators beginning to zero in. Oh yeah, I already read that. But it is backfiring. Okay, there's James Clapper going on CNN saying, "Oh, it's Trump's disgraceful investigation order." Really, but they don't. And if you read this article, it doesn't even talk about. It doesn't say why he's giving the order, which is obvious. Okay, but it's backfiring. They started by telling the story of Alexander Downer, an Australian diplomat, as having remembered a bar conversation with George Papadopoulos, a foreign policy advisor to the Trump campaign. But how did the FBI know they should talk to him? That's left out in their narrative. Downer's signature appears on a $25 million contribution to the Clinton Foundation. Oh. You don't need much imagination to figure that he was close with the Clinton Foundation operatives who relayed information to the State Department, which then called the FBI to complete the loop. This wasn't intelligence. It was likely an opposition research from the start. That's what I'm saying. So, look, if you really, it's so funny. Like, if you really care about corruption and rule of law and everything, you got to get this Trump derangement syndrome out of your head, and you got to see what's really going on. And that's what this whole report is about. So I'll continue. Basically, what he's trying to say is, like, look, it's not about Trump. It's about, like, the rule of law. In no way would a fourth-hand report from a Maltese professor justify wholesale targeting of 4 or 5 members of the Trump campaign. It took Christopher Steele, with his funding concealed through false campaign filings, looks like collusion right there to me, from the Clinton Foundation and from the DNC, to be incredibly successful at creating a vast echo chamber around his unverified fanciful dossier, bouncing it back and forth between the press and the FBI, so it appeared that there were multiple sources all coming to the same conclusion. Now, if you don't know what that means, back when that whole dossier came out, basically it was like a weird echo chamber loop where the reports would say, oh, there's a news report about Christopher Steele would say how can I say this? Basically, they would write the report, and then they would tell one news organization would report on it. Then they would send it to the FBI and say, hey, the FBI has this report, and then it would just go back and forth, and so it looked like something was really going on. If you looked at when all this hysteria started, it was just like Vox, HuffPo, whatever. They were just parroting each other. They were just talking about the same story over and over again. Time and time again, investigators came up empty. Even several sting operations with an FBI spy, who we learned was that one guy, forgot his name, we just learned about, failed to produce a DeLorean-like video with cash on the table, right? There's no smoking done. If you don't know DeLorean, remember Back to the Future? Well, the guy that made that car, he got busted for like a drug sting or something. It was crazy, and they caught him red-handed. Just watch this really quick. Oh, wait. So here's from the beginning. Here we go. Okay, so they're having a drink. Like, there's no video of this where they're like, oh, yeah, let's collude with Russia. I mean, there's nothing like that, okay? So perhaps the murkiest event in this timeline is Rod Rosenstein's appointment of special counsel after he personally recommended Comey's firing in blistering terms, right? So that doesn't make any sense. With Attorney General Jeff Sessions shoved out of the way, Rosenstein and Mueller then ignored their own conflicts and took charge anyway. Rosenstein is a fact witness, and Mueller is a friend of Comey, disqualifying them both. Okay, this process must now be stopped, okay? Preferably long before a vote in the Senate. Rather than a fair, limited, and impartial investigation, the Mueller investigation became a partisan, open-ended inquisition that, by its precedent, is a threat to all those who ever want to participate in a national campaign or administration again. Okay, so it's a total threat to our democracy. And here we go, let's sum it all up. Stopping Mueller isn't about one president or one party, okay? You got to get that out of your head, even if you fucking hate Trump. It's about all presidents and all parties. Okay, let me repeat that. It's about all presidents and all parties. It's about cleaning out and reforming the deep states so that our intelligence operations are never used against opposing campaigns without the firmest of evidence. It's about letting people work for campaigns administrations without needing legal defense funds. It's about relying on our elections to decide our differences, okay? And if you don't even know it, the Democrats, the DNC got sued, okay? They basically colluded with the Clinton campaign and Hillary to steal the election from Bernie. I don't like Bernie, okay? But that doesn't mean I can't acknowledge a fact, right? Just because, oh, I hate Bernie, good, Hillary stole it from him. I mean, that's childish, guys. That's really childish and fucking stupid. So anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments.